in all the 3 senatorial districts in Ogun State. We have House of Rep, we have House of Assembly, but to my knowledge, there is no PDP presidential candidate.
I thought you were at the last NEC meeting of the party, where I think Senator Sanda was there with you people too as the presidential candidate of the party.
Honestly, I don't recall, because some of us they had 2 meetings, right? There was one they had with the gubernatorial candidate, yes. And then we went and sat down that were not gubernatorial, and then we came back and they presented certificates to us. Okay. So if there's one, if it's I can't even recall his name. I just said you say Sander. Yes. If he's the one, I don't know him. There is no reason for me to tell people to vote for him, because at that meeting they did not actually tell us senatorial candidates anything of the sort. There was, I think the only person I recall was an Unsofo. I think really it's not important, to be honest, if we have a presidential candidate or not, because the focus of our campaign in Ogun State is Ogun State. We are not in this. I am not in this race. Our team in Ogun State is not in this race as part of the national campaign. We are focused on our state.
Okay, but when the presidential candidate comes to Ogun State, I'm sure you will be there to welcome him, work with him. Campaign. Maybe if he reaches out to you, eventually, we still have a long way.
I don't know if that will happen. As a team, as of now, we have no information from the national office that the presidential candidate will be coming to the state. That's all I can say. And like I said, I do not believe I will be there, because again, my focus is Ogun State. I am not really focused on the national race in any shape or form.
Okay, let's take.
We're going to succeed.
Okay, just before we let you go, the APC too, just like you mentioned earlier, also had issues, especially with the consensus in Ogun State. The governorship was an issue, you were involved. The senatorial was an issue. Former Governor Gbenga Daniel was also very aggrieved. Does the APC, the PDP, your party now, plans to take advantage of these aggrieved APC members and in other parties to make a good showing?
I'm laughing. Isn't that the game in politics? I mean, isn't that what politics is all about? Do I have to, isn't it the job of everybody to keep their internal people together? And I mentioned it earlier today. In the PDP of old, when PDP was at the federal power, what they did was, when they had primaries for gubernatorial, actual primaries, and somebody won, but there was all kinds of fights, and people were like all that. Some, people were called and said, look, how do we settle this? Yes. They will, the stories will be told, okay, you were the official person given, okay, you take it. This is how we compensate the rest. Usually not with money, but the reason you do things like that is so that you don't get the kind of things you are now saying that you are reporting came from Ogun. Yes. It's so that party infrastructure stays together and people have a sense of cohesion. Sometimes it's not money. Sometimes it's just this feeling that you are part of something, right? Politics is being part of a group and knowing that group has your own interest at heart. But if the group treats you as if you don't matter, they have a meeting to declare somebody and they just declare it. They didn't call you, they didn't think about it.
Hello everyone. Ovevekuve. This is Ovevekuve matter that is no longer Ovevekuve matter. You heard Iyabo Obasanjo there that there's Wike, and saying that PDP does not have a presidential candidate. They bumped Wike well for him to have a presidential candidate. What you have there is a placeholder, someone that they can do anything and anyhow to. It's really surprising how Wike has destroyed PDP, a man of little mind, a man that is desperate to be in the corridors of power, a man that cannot do without being close to power, whether it has to be a yes boy or whatever it takes, no matter how many houses he has to leak, no matter how many floors he has to grovel on, he will grovel on that for him to be get away. And that's the same person that has the audacity and the temerity to say, oh, there's a woman in NDC. She thinks it's by English, it's by grammar. She did not win ticket to... You lost presidential ticket in 2022, and you've ended up destroying a whole party that was once the biggest in Africa, once had a whole lot going for it. You decided you were going to destroy it. You had the audacity to open your mouth and talk about someone else. And you hear the Iyabo Obasanjo there daring him and saying indeed that there's no presidential candidate. For sure, we know there can be a presidential candidate. Boy, now your mates. May try, may they come out for that job where they do yes, where every day they go stand for airports, they collect Tinubu, a legitimate president. You know, if it's there and they're both born now. They're not born Wike where may try that nonsense. You know, say no reach. It takes a whole lot to be able to have the guts to see a government that is failing and actually hold that government, accountable and hold it, because you're not looking for anything to feed off. I'm not desperate to be in any position of power. I have my influence even without being in any office. Can Wike actually ever say that someone that since 1999, we're talking about over 27 years, have been in the corridors of power and cannot even imagine what it is not to be there? So, of course, those are the things that you expect with the way things are going. But at the end of the day, we really, really have our judiciary, to blame. The judiciary that has become the plaything of corrupt politicians. And that's why you see all manner of judgments that come out all the time. And it's all about who owns the judiciary. If we're really interested in fixing politics in Nigeria, we also need to fix the judiciary. The judiciary has to be, put in its place to understand that the basic business of the judiciary is to ensure it becomes the last resort of the common man and not the playthings of corrupt politicians. We'll continue to follow up and see how all of this take place, and PDP, where PDP will be at the end of the day. No matter how Wike tries to say that, oh, he's still in PDP, he's not in APC, you definitely know where his loyalty lies, where his allegiance lies, and where his boyness lies. And it is definitely not where PDP is. And as you can see, Iyabo Obasanjo, really explaining the facts out there. So we'll continue to follow up on that. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And let's just ensure that we do the right thing come January 2027. Thank you so much, and bye.